The Smiths were the picture of happiness. John, a carpenter with calloused hands and a warm smile, built their lives on laughter. Mary, his wife, filled their home with the aroma of freshly baked bread and the sound of her gentle humming. Their children, 10-year-old Lily and 8-year-old Tom, were their pride and joy. Life was a comfortable rhythm of school plays, family picnics, and bedtime stories whispered under the soft glow of a nightlight. One crisp autumn evening, their world shattered. Returning from a trip to the cinema, a speeding lorry jumped the red light. Metal shrieked, glass shattered. Silence descended, thick and heavy, broken only by the distant wail of sirens. John held Mary's lifeless hand, his heart a leaden weight in his chest. Lily and Tom, their faces streaked with tears and dust, stared at the wreckage, their eyes wide with a terror that no child should ever know. The lorry driver, a young man high on illegal substances, walked away with minor injuries and a slap on the wrist. Justice, it seemed, was a fickle mistress. John, consumed by grief and rage, felt a searing injustice burn through his soul. He looked at his children, their innocence stolen, their laughter silenced, and vowed to avenge his family. He would become their protector, their weapon, their instrument of retribution. John sank into a pit of despair. His workshop, once filled with the scent of sawdust and hope, became a tomb of silence. Lily and Tom, their youthful exuberance extinguished, moved like ghosts through their grief-stricken home. John, haunted by Mary's memory and the injustice of her death, knew he couldn't let their pain fester. He would not let his family drown in sorrow. He would teach them to swim, to fight, to survive. The seed of an idea dark and dangerous began to take root in John's mind. He would become an instrument of justice, a silent hand delivering retribution to those who escaped the law's inadequate grasp. He would train himself and his children, honing their grief into a weapon, their sorrow into strength. The world had shown them its cruel underbelly. He would teach them to navigate its shadows. Their training was grueling, relentless. John, drawing on his forgotten military service, taught them hand-to-hand combat, marksmanship, and the art of stealth. Their home, once a sanctuary, transformed into a Spartan training ground. Days were filled with the thud of fists against leather, the sharp crack of gunfire, and the silent grace of movement in the shadows. John watched his children transform, their grief hardening into a steely resolve, their innocence replaced by a chilling proficiency. Their first mission was swift, brutal, and terrifyingly efficient. The target, a corrupt businessman who had evaded prosecution for years, was found dead in his heavily